You know, I have an obligation to you guys. Anytime something can take a 75 round drum and shoot 7.62 by 39, we just got to go ahead and dump a drum out of it. Oh yeah, not bad. You guys may or may not have heard of M+M. They probably sound familiar to you. They're a company that used to produce a gun called the M10, which basically they took Romanian parts kits, built the guns up, made some very high quality AKs, 7.62 by 39 of course. This gun that we're going to be talking about today is their M10X Elite. All right, and this is pretty much an entirely new weapon system. It's not an AK, it's not an AR, it's not a SIG 5.56. You know, it's not a Galil, it's kind of its own animal, and it takes a lot of features from other popular guns. Obviously you can see the nods to the AK platform because the fact that it does take standard AK47 magazines, utilizes a standard paddle just like an AK would, reciprocating, charging handle that can be swapped to either side of the gun. There's a lot of interesting features about this gun. When they approached me about you know, checking it out and kind of seeing what I thought about it, they sent us a couple of units out to play with and kind of give our opinion on it. I didn't really know what to think about it at first because I'm kind of an AK guy, tried and true. But we've taken them out and done some grouping with them. The groups, you know, they're shooting pretty good groups overall. Yeah, I mean, just ball ammo for the most part, you're getting about 2 inches at 100 yards, which is pretty fair, you know, considering the ammunition type. And we even tried out some of the Hornady SST just as a hunting alternative. And what was surprising was it didn't really group any better. It was about the same, about 1.75 to 2 minutes, but it maintained the same point of impact across both rifle platforms. So that's pretty cool. You can just play with your Full Metal Jacket, Wolf, or Tula, or whatever, and then you can swap to your hunting load, go out and kill some pigs or kill a deer or whatever you need to do, and you don't have to change your scope or anything out. Absolutely. So, one of the features of the rifle that struck me as being very impressive right out the gate was the fact that the upper itself is kind of like one homogeneous, dare I say monolithic. It's a monolithic upper. Okay, I know monolithic's one of those terms that gets thrown around a lot, but it's a homogeneous style upper. Everything's one piece. You've got this just one piece that goes all the way back. Everything's nice and rigid. It is a piston system with an adjustable gas system. Now, at the time that we're making this particular video, there are some rolling changes that are being integrated into this rifle. This particular one is 14 by 1 left hand. Okay, so the threading on the barrel is made to take AK breaks. One of the things that we told them that we would like to see is, of course, just a 5/8 by 24 thread for standard 308 brakes, so you can run stuff like your suppressors. Yeah, see this rifle here, we got 2 of these in, the exact same rifle, and these are both under the first 100 produced. I think this one's like 72, that one's like 97. Right, so these are very, very new, almost prototype-ish, like first run firearms. But I was assured by the lead engineer that there would be some rolling changes being made, one being a standard 5/8 by 24 threading on the barrel. This one I actually took to our machinist and had him turn it down, and he actually said that this barrel was one of the best that he's ever seen as far as a factory barrel goes. So that's a good nod to the quality of the M+M here. But also I had to take and modify the gas plug just to accommodate the suppressor setting. There's not technically a suppressor setting on this adjustable gas system right now, but there will be in the future. It's just there's a wide variety of ammunition out there, and the company is doing some testing to figure out the exact port size to accommodate pretty much all that ammo that's out there for suppressor use, which is very difficult. Absolutely. But a simple Dremel cut and just rolling that port over just a little bit, and this thing runs suppressed beautifully. And that was one of the things I really wanted to showcase with this rifle, at least mine here, was customizing it so I could run the suppressor on it. I mean, with an adjustable gas system, it's one of those things that makes it easy to suppress an AK style firearm. And everybody knows that AKs are very difficult to suppress because they're not as easy to modify as, say, like an AR-15. No. So, there's a lot of work that goes into suppressing an AK properly, but this rig right here runs great. This gun gives a lot of nods to the SIG 550. I mean, the gas system reminds me a lot of the SIG rifles. It's a good
that gas system is exactly like a SIG 553.
Pretty much just like a SIG 550, you know, series rifle. And of course, the piston operation is very AK-like.
Long stroke.
The fact that the magazines rock in and pretty much the same exact system you would expect to see on an AK, that's a nod to the AK. Mm-hmm. There are things that are a nod to even things like when you think about the SCAR Heavy, how everything is just one big piece. You know, mm-hmm. on a SCAR, it's a very rigid upper, and this upper is very rigid, which to me would equate to good accuracy. We're getting some fairly good accuracy out of the gun. Hogue is cutting grips just for M+M, but they are essentially a Hogue grip, mm-hmm. Single stage AK trigger. Chad opted for an aftermarket 2-stage for his.
Had to modify it a little bit to make it fit in the gun, but I'm a big fan of 2-stage triggers for accuracy.
Low degree of safety tilt, so you got a very small degree of movement there on the safety. It is ambidextrous safety, can be reached from either side of the gun. It is a MEMmed part, so I thought it was polymer at first when we were looking at it. It is an actual metal injected molded part. They have what they call a little kick ease or kick light stock on it. This little trunnion that they put in here has kind of a recoil absorbing capability to it.
And also the height of the stock is nice because it's directly in line with the bore, so that helps reduce recoil as well.
Sure.
And something that I spoke with the lead engineer about was, maybe in the future adapting maybe like a folder and mech or something like that on here, or maybe like a flat piece that you could adapt an ace to, or even a SCAR stock for that matter, and have it a little bit higher. And that's one thing too with the optic mounting system here. The rail is nice, a big monolithic rail across the top. I mean, it gives you a lot of options.
Nice and rigid.
Nice and rigid, but it does lend to a high cheek weld. So, you have to put a little cheek riser or something on your CTR stock back here to get in line with your optic. But I opted for some very low profile LaRue rings on mine, and the cheek weld is perfect for this setup here. Eric's is a little bit higher with this little Midwest Industries setup here, but it works out very well regardless.
I had to go with a little bit higher mount on this one because we got the backup sight still on mine. The gun ships with, I believe, one magazine, and you get the backup iron sights that M&M produces. They're okay. I mean, the thing to remember about backups, they're backups.
Well, initially when the rifle was debuted at SHOT, it came with some Magpul appointments, Magpul backup sights and such, but they've made a few rolling changes to the gun. I was told by Tim at Military Arms Channel that these are M-LOK slots, okay? But the kinetic development group, I think is what they call it, the little quick mount M-LOK attachments that they make, will not fit in this rail yet, but the company is working on that to modify the rail system to accommodate pretty much everything that's out there on the market related to M-LOK. One of the other neat features of this platform that the company says is more AR-15-like, but I consider it to be more FAL-like, is the way the system will hinge open with the push of a button in the rear.
Yeah, a little tight because they're somewhat new.
Yeah, but it has a small latch in the rear that engages this opening here in the actual receiver, and that's another neat feature about this gun. I had to pull it completely apart to have the barrel threaded because the barrel with the receiver attached would not fit through the CNC machine in order to thread the barrel, so we had to pull the barrel off, and it's a nice tight threading, and it's just basically torqued on, no problems, and the receiver slides into the monolithic upper. So everything is just very simple, very rigid. There's really not a whole lot of moving components to this platform, and that's what I like so much about it.
Sure. I'll tell you what, let's take some shots with these things. I know you guys saw a little bit in the intro and a little bit of B-roll footage here, us kind of playing with them. Let's take them up the hill, put some rounds on steel, just have a little fun with them, and then we'll back off to 440 and have a lunch battle.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I think you guys will be real surprised how this thing suppresses. All right, we backed off here. We've been shooting the M10X Elite a good bit here from the bench rest, about 300 yards away. Earlier, as Chad was doing some suppressed plinking with it, seemed to be connecting quite well with the suppressor. Suppressed, I could see this rifle doing really well as a hog annihilator. I'd really, like to see some 7.62x39 taking some hogs out of this thing. Also deer. I don't see why it wouldn't be a good little deer gun with proper loadings. We were doing some zero work with the gun the other day, kind of getting her sighted in, playing around with it. 100-yard groups are definitely promising. Definitely a good overall platform in terms of launching 7.62x39 at things. I like the fact that it takes AK mags, which are common, cheap, plentiful, that whole game. I like the fact that there are controls about it that are familiar. If you are an AK kind of guy, you're going to find some familiarity in there. You're also going to find that, it's just it's a solid gun. It's very much like an AK. It has everything the AK needs and everything that it doesn't. Kind of an interesting gun. So I'm gonna just take a few shots here, have a little fun. Very informal, guys, just having a little fun with it. All right, let's see if I can do some headshots at 100 here. Oh yeah. Puts them in at 100. Of course, we knew that. All right, let's try our gopher.
Just on the lower side of it.
And not doing too bad on the gopher. Let's try the 300-yard gong there. Not too bad. You know, one thing I can definitely say about the gun, the stock trigger, for my, it's just my opinion here, for what it's worth, I think I would prefer some form of a two-stage trigger. Not that there's a lot of them out there for AKs right now, but I'm sure they can be had or they can work something up. Of course, that's just my opinion. It's not doubling up from the bench, which is good. A lot of guns, especially AK variants, when you start working on some type of, really lightweight single-stage trigger, they will tend to want to bump from the bench. I mean, they'll double and triple up, and it's just the fact that that trigger's so light and a little bit of movement and play in the system when you're shooting from a bench rest can cause that to occur. But honestly though, in all fairness, that's going to be common with really any type of single stage trigger that you're running. Like say you got a, a Geisley Super 3-gun trigger, something really light, and say you go to, stage up on a barrier to shoot at something, like you're in a 3-gun competition or something like that, that light trigger can double up even from a barrier or anything that's stationary that you're putting the gun against. So that's one minor thing. I do like the gun. There's a lot of things about it I like. There's a few things that we've already addressed that I'm not crazy about. But I tell you what, the gun's not shooting too shabby. We are just running cheap Tula ammo, nothing fancy. We're not running any high, top shelf ammo or anything. We do have a 7.62 by 39 ammo test planned. Stay tuned for that. We're going to shoot as much ammo through this gun and a couple of others as we possibly can, probably the Mutant, this gun, and a couple of different top shelf AKs, and we'll see out of the commercial and military ammo, hunting ammo, plinking ammo, what overall, we'll get some data together and we'll figure out overall which ammo does the best. I'm really curious to see that because, it's just one of those things. Sometimes AK ammo is what it is. You get some crate of random, surplus ammo and it might shoot great. The next lot might shoot like crap. You just can't tell. So Chad and I are going to bump back to the 440 here and come up with a fun lunch battle to do and wrap this little video up. I want to see how this thing will sling them in at long range. All right, everybody, we backed out here to 440 yards away. That's the longest distance we've got here at the farm to do some shooting. We're going to have a little informal lunch battle between Chad and I. You're probably wondering what this weird device sitting next to me is. This is a DJI Phantom 3 drone, quadcopter technically. I'm going to use it to kind of help spot some of the shots as well as get a little bit of footage of what's going on downrange. So I'm going to try to spot a little bit. Let's just have some fun with it. Gun is doing really nice so far. We're getting great accuracy to 100 yards and on out. The gun is definitely capable for far beyond what the 7.62x39 can do as a cartridge. This is kind of a long way to be shooting 7.62x39, but we're going to try it out here. And I'm going to cheat a little bit, use my camera angle just to see what's going on. Hopefully I don't shoot my drone out of the air. That thing's expensive. All right, I'm ready when you are, Chad.
Yeah, go ahead and send it.
On it?
That was off the left edge, 5 o'clock, or right edge, 5 o'clock. Yep. Off the right at 3.
Okay.
Just under.
Light strike.
Yep, that's 2. Just off the right at 3. Just off the left at 7 o'clock. Yep. 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 Off the left edge. Hit. Off the left at 7. Hit.
Check my drone here. It was getting a little bit close to the ground there.
Off the left at 7. Hit. Just off the right at 3. Hit. Off the right at 2. Down low at 7. Just below the plate 6. Hit. Yep.
Hang on, let me check on my drone here. You ready?
Yeah, you're
All
at
right.
11 right now.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Just off at 7 again.
Off at 7, huh? So low and left?
Yep, low left. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think you got 12.
I think I got 12. Well, it is what it is. Trying to find that round that didn't go off. Oh, well. All right. I'll tell you what, just for fun, guys, while I got you on camera here, I'm gonna turn this drone around. I'm gonna fly it back. I thought this might be kind of a fun little redneck target cam. Let's see what we got. All right, so in the time that I just grabbed this remote here, the drone's flying back here. Let's see what we got. The gun's not faring too bad, guys. You know, I think that at this point it's safe to say that, you know, what we're more or less getting is some inconsistencies in the ammunition. I'm going to bring this little guy around here just to say hello.
She's a little noisy.
Yeah, it is.
It's okay. Come on, bring her on in a little more. Bring her on in. Bring her on. There you go. There she is.
All right. Well, we're going to get Chad on this here thing. Let me get this thing out of the way here. That's kind of a neat toy.
All right, well, Eric's getting the drone back down to the target stand down there at 440 yards. Take a few shots with this rifle. Got a mag of 30 rounds here, the tool ammo, and we'll see what happens. It's already warm, so might be a little bit of a disadvantage for me. Let's see what we can do.
I just had to break it in for you a little bit.
Oh, break it in a little bit.
Now, guys, while Chad is going to do some shooting here, I'm actually going to spot with the DJI Phantom 3 professional quadcopter. And I'm recording the footage here, so let's see what we end up with.
Is this a
we'll
gun
see how
review?
good this thing works for spotting.
Is this a gun review or is this a drone review?
It's random. It's us. It's what we do.
All right.
Send it whenever you're ready.
I'm sending it.
Miss.
Really?
Yeah. Let me get closer.
Were you a Kentucky windage unit?
Nope.
Dead on?
Yeah.
All right.
Send it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the drone hover there. I just don't think the resolution of this camera is going to be good enough for me to pick up for Chad here, but I am going to leave the drone in the air kind of recording for him, and I'm going to spot.
Let me know when you're set.
Send it.
All right, dead center hold on the big dong.
Yep. Okay, you're missing off the right side of the plate. Your elevation's good. Windage is off a little. Good, you're on it. Good. A little low. Good. That's 4. Just off the right edge of the plate, Chad. Good. You hit the little popper. Were you aiming for that?
No, that's the ammo.
Yep. Good.
That counts though.
Does it count?
It counts.
I guess. Yeah, I'm going to set this drone down because this thing's making racket. You go ahead, I'm spotting. Good. Good. Yep. Off the left. Yeah. Off the left. Off the left.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird. Well, as we always say, 400 meters with an AK is a little hard to do, especially with the ammo that we're running. But regardless, I think you guys can see that this M10X Elite is a good contender, and the company has a great start on this platform. This is one awesome hybrid rifle with a lot of flexibility and a lot of options for upgrade in the future. And I'm hoping that, you know, the company will stand by their word and improve on this platform as they go forward and offer those improvements to customers that have already purchased the rifle. You know, there's not a whole lot of these rifles out there right now. The company really just started shipping these, I think, within the past few months. And like I said earlier, the two rifles that we have are within the first 100 that were ever produced. But anyways, guys, as we move forward and the company moves forward with this rifle and the development of this platform, you can rest assured that we'll be taking this rifle back out for more review work in the future with said improvements. But until next time, you guys take it easy. Hope you enjoy the video. Take care.